What have I done? So the first night we came up here, there wasn't really room under the covered porch here. So I just put this out here. It didn't rain, but it's super foggy, so it got all dewy. And then we woke up to staining on here, and I was like, what the heck? And then I realized that I had this bench sitting right next to the belts grinder in my shop, and my friend was using my belt grinder doing some metal working, so they got metal shavings. Was sitting, fine dusty shavings. Couldn't really see it until the water hit it. So I gotta resand this to get some Odie's oil on it, or it's probably just gonna get worse. Okay, so I'm gonna dry it off first, just if I can. Yeah, I'll start with an 80 grit, just to get it off real efficiently. Well, it didn't take too long. So I set it up to 150. The more sheen and the more smooth you want, you gotta sand up to a higher grit. But 150 is good because this bench is gonna be outside. And the effects of weather and humidity will get on it, so you can sand up to 400 grit if you want. You put your finish on it and take it outside, it'll feel all rough, because once the wood grain kind of just impregnates with the air. So I find for exterior woodwork, there's really no point in sanding past 150. All right, I'm gonna take this inside to put the oil on it and then just leave it in there to dry. I'm gonna put a little 1/4 inch round over on the edge here. Everything has got so much dew on it. Time for some super duper everlasting oil. I personally have been using Odie's products for well over 2 years, and they're pretty much my go-to finish for every project now, because they make a product for pretty much every application. If you want to get your hands on some of the super duper everlasting Odie's oil, be sure to click the link in the description box below. Okay, so I let it sit and kind of soak in for about an hour. And I'm just going to buff off any extra right. Stopped raining. The sun is coming out. Beautiful day in February, which is rare. And I need some steps. So I'm contemplating 4 steps that are about 7.5 inches, or like 5 steps that are like 6 3/4 inches. I kind of don't want it sticking out super far. So it's going to be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got about 32 inches of drop on the short side here. I'm going to have to build up this section here with some rocks. I bought a bag of mortar just for that, and I'm going to kind of make a bit of a rock landing just with what I can find, some flat-ish face stones, just for the risers to sit on, and then we'll be good to frame it up. See, if you only have one board to carry, you gotta run so that you look like a baller. You know, and it's not really a big risk because it's not like you have to carry 20 boards. So when you got one board to carry, you always run because it just makes you look like a gangster, you know? My little mink there. I didn't know they swam so much. He was just up in my boat. Oh, there he goes. So the stringers are cut, and I put a little 1/4 inch round over on them just so that I'm going to put this tar, wipe on tar membrane stuff underneath all the treads, right? This is seal up the end grain. Hopefully give a few more years of life to the treads. All that water that wants to soak in and sit on the wood won't be able to get into the wood, and it'll just kind of run off. So the wood will not be saturated as much. At least that's the theory. Hopefully by tomorrow morning they'll be dry enough to install.
getting tar all over me. And then I can get the treads and the risers screwed on. Oh, it's gonna be so nice to have some stairs. So nice. You're about to see is just precision masonry at its finest. Look at that. It's like the Acropolis. I don't even know what that is. I think it's a big thing in Greece though. Look at those border lines. That's all I gotta get backfilled. So all you're gonna see is these 3 rocks sticking up with stringers on each one. So it's gonna be beautiful, because yeah, that's just not nice to look. Look away, look away. So I put a level on these this morning, and this one's actually a bit high, about a 1/2 inch high. So I had to scribe my stringer to sit on it properly. It's got a nice good fit now, anyways. Now what I usually do is I've got these 3.5 inch by 1/2 inch galvanized legs. I usually screw a leg into the bottom, and then the stringer sits on the head of the leg, and you can adjust the legs for height just by putting a wrench underneath there, screwing them in and out. You can lift and lower and level your stairs. So if it's on an uneven surface like a rock, you're going to need to be able to adjust the back leg to be a little higher or lower, right, for the uneven surface of the rock. It also leaves about a 1/2 inch air gap underneath your stringer, so rain and everything that's going to pour down on these stairs will be able to drain off, and air will be able to get underneath there and dry out any moisture, right? So it's going to keep your stairs from decaying, add more life to your project, right? So I'm going to do that on the other 2 stringers, or the other 2 rocks, because they're a bit lower. So I just need to place the stringers, or to drill some holes. If I take one of these. Got 2 marks now. So you can see how the bolts work here. Right, you just slide your wrench down underneath there. So the back bolt is touching, but the front one is not. So you just unscrew it until you have contact.
One of them's got some ingrown bark. I'll put that at the bottom. I'll probably replace it. Put the two ugly ones with the big knot on the bottom. Oh, steps. How I've missed you. If this isn't a face that says Biotes oil, I don't know what is.